I wanted to introduce you to Lisa Nicholls. You probably met her before on the session that we had a couple of months ago, where she gave a very quick freebie class on social media in general. But right now, right here, we're here to talk to you about Clubhouse. Clubhouse. I've never, ever, guys, jumped on any platform from all of this time. Yes, we've given help, and yes, we've said, you know, you got to post here, you got to do this for your social media, and you have to, you know, build your engagement and the best practices for social media. But never have I gotten behind a platform with such gumption. I want to say gumption, Lisa. Is gumption a proper word to use these days?
It's a good word. I like it. Yes.
All right,
We're
good.
using gumption.
We're using gumption with such gumption as I am with Clubhouse. Why? Because we all have a voice, and we have a very important voice, and we have a very important message to share. And this is how we connect to hearts. We could, if we were to do a video and put the video on mute and not have the words at the bottom, how are we really connecting to people? Unless like we're dancing or something like that, of course, but our words are not getting across. Our words is what changes lives. Clubhouse is all about connection, conversation, relationships, sharing knowledge, supporting each other. And this is why I'm just in love with Clubhouse. So Lisa, you are I just called you a Clubhouse gurette. I don't know if you caught that a minute ago.
I thought that was a great word.
So you're the Clubhouse gurette. And I just wanted you to get up on here and share with our members, because I know you and I have been building engaging rooms. We've been having engaging conversations. I've come to support you on other conversations you had. You've come to support our members in our conversations on Clubhouse rooms. And it's just so much fun. And you don't have to put your makeup on. You don't got to do your hair. You don't got to put an outfit on. You can walk around your PJs all day long. I don't think that that's so good sometimes for, you know, how we end up living our lives that day. But it does help, right? Sometimes. So please, can you share with us some of the basics that we should know about Clubhouse that would help us to understand why it's such a powerful platform and why we should be using it?
Sure. Thanks, Anna. I'd love to. So happy to be here. So happy we finally got this figured out. So Clubhouse, for those of you guys who don't know, right now has 10 million users across all the countries. It's banned in China, but I believe it's in most other countries. And it used to be for iPhone users only, or anyone who had an iPad, but they just opened it up to Android. And the Android users are rolling out to all of the countries fairly soon. So not all countries may have Android accessibility, but they will soon. So that's the stats on Clubhouse and why people love it. There's just so much genuineness there. Like everybody I speak to loves the connections. For some reason, because we're talking to each other and we're just sharing a lot, people feel like they really build good bonds. And I've really started to become friends with some of the people I've met there. And everyone you talk to a person will say that they love it because of the connections that they're building. It allows people, because it's a voice, you can't hide. You know, on Facebook and Instagram, you can kind of hide, you can make your videos look like you want, but on Clubhouse, you're real. You're in front of people, you're sharing things, and just you connect with people on such a better level than you do with other platforms. And I think in times of COVID, people were really looking for that connection, and Clubhouse stepped right in, and you know, there they are. So people love it, and many of us are building businesses on it. Like it's possible to monetize it too. So it's not just a time sucker where you can go to all these fun rooms, but you can also create your own rooms and, you know, build your own business and promote your expertise. So there's so many great things about it. People are really using it and loving it, you know, across the board. Everyone I speak to is just madly in love with it, like we are.
Lisa, let me tell you something. You just said that very important, you know, key phrase, building your business. I'm going to be completely honest. It's been one of the most authentic business builders, because it's not like if people are in your room, they want to hear what you're talking about, and you're literally coming together over a topic. You know, you're coming together over an interest rather than bringing people in for something somebody's, in other words, an interest is what's bringing people together. So when you start off with the interest bringing people together, it's not because everybody has to be there because of something that, like, if it's work, everyone has to be there for work. But if everyone's talking about gardening, you're going to attract everybody who's into gardening, and it's going to create the dynamic of the conversation to be a friendly conversation. Everyone wants to learn or hear about or get engaged in a conversation around a topic. And that's why I love Clubhouse, because it's based on topics, interest, bringing together a tribe or a community over an interest, a shared something, not like everybody's there as an individual because of something here. The something here is really bringing everybody together. And for me, it makes business so easy because of that. I know members have become members of the Wellness Universe just in the recent weeks. More members, percentage-wise, have joined the Wellness Universe in recent weeks than in months, okay? And I've sold soul treat tickets, books. I've made epic connections that really actually make a huge impact on the Wellness Universe. More so, like big things are happening, big relationships, things like that are happening, getting connected to people who really want to work together, really want to make a difference. And this is what I've always been about. Like, how can we work together to both grow and create bigger value for the world and get our gifts out there to the world together? And this has really started that space out because you come together over the conversation. You know what I mean? It's not an ask, it's not a pitch. And to be honest with you, by the way, I've noticed when people come on and they start to get pitchy,
yeah,
they don't get the good reception. They just don't get the good reception. Everyone has to be real and authentic, like you were saying.
Yeah, I agree. And I love it because if you're holding a room about social media, people are in there because they want to be in there. They're not in there because they have to be in there. So you're getting this audience that really wants to listen to you anyway and wants to talk about it, and I'll go into rooms just to learn things. So for me, it's also, in addition to generating businesses, I'm also learning more about my craft, which I love because I love learning. And there's experts there, which I've had trouble accessing because with 11 years in the business and social media, there's not a lot of people locally who I can rely on to answer the weirdo questions that I have all the time about when things go wrong. But in Clubhouse, there's a million people who know things beyond what I do. Because let's say I'm an expert in all of social media and helping businesses start with their social media, but there are people who spend every second of their day in Instagram and Pinterest and everything else. So they know things that I don't know because they have that more in-depth knowledge. So I love it for so many different reasons. It's just amazing. But yeah, you're right about everything you say. It's people really want to listen to you. And then, I've been in rooms, and there are rooms on Instagram, and someone will say, I need a social media manager. They'll come right in and say that. And I've had that happen several times. So I just love that, there's just that sharing. It's amazing. It's really, the people who do well, like you said, are the people who share their knowledge, who give value, who are genuine, and who don't just try and pitch. So I think that a lot of us are very mindful about that and try not to pitch either,
Yeah.
So.
And touching on that, I think there's a very good etiquette that everyone adopts pretty rapidly, because then they'll see that, they'll be invited to moderate in rooms, and they'll be invited to other rooms. They'll be invited onto the stage when they're in a room. And the more that you get to know, because I think that we really have a tight little tribe of followers on Clubhouse. Even when we were doing our room last week, how many people came into the room and said, oh, anywhere Anna's in, I'll go to that room. Do you remember that
You
last
have
week?
a following.
No, but I was even shocked. I was like, really? I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I see the same faces, and they become friends and turn into perhaps clients or whatever it is. But it's a relationship builder. I really find that it's a relationship builder. And when you can start a relationship and start building on it, then you could take it wherever you want, because they could be they can be a connector for you to somebody else. They can help you acquire the knowledge that you need in order. They can help you acquire the resources you need in order to get somewhere else. But I feel that, everything really starts with the relationships. That's why I'm so passionate about, building community. And whether they turn into an actual client or a customer, regardless, along the way, when you find value in somebody, you're going to get something out of it. And I really find that, this is just extraordinary. And yeah, so I just want to talk about a couple of the basics that people should know. There's the etiquette around Clubhouse, and I'm sure that you have some resources of where people can find some videos or things like that. Lisa, do you have anything like that available?
I think we can find some. There's a bunch of people who have different things about how to create a bio on Clubhouse, you know, stuff like that. I actually want to put together probably a workshop on how to do Clubhouse. So stay tuned for that, because I think that's going to be a free workshop where I have it just, you know, like an hour-long thing about how to make Clubhouse work for you. But I know we can find resources. I think, Anna, you had one that YouTube had a playlist for that. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out there on how to use Clubhouse, and we can definitely share in, you know, in the group chat. Once we get done, we can pop a couple of things in there, because I don't quite know. I don't want to mess up and try and do it online on my laptop while we're talking and I'm on my phone. So yeah, but there's all kinds of stuff. People have great tips. And like I said, I'm coming out with probably just a workshop on how to make that work better for you too. So stay tuned.
Okay.
Yes, there are tips.
So who's with us that is on Clubhouse already? Just pop a comment, yes or no, in the chat, or if you want to be on Clubhouse. Because now, like Lisa said, everyone, Android users are now welcome onto Clubhouse, and it was really frustrating when they weren't. And so now you are, and it's great. Oh, Jenny's here. Hi, Jenny. So
yeah, I'm trying to put in something from Social Media Examiner is actually a good source. So there you go.
Great.
And how to get started with Clubhouse.
Okay. So there's the link that Lisa just shared. There's a bunch of videos there, and I know they're a great resource for tutorials and things like that. Okay, so Rosemary, so you have to download the app, and once you have the app downloaded in your phone, well, actually, I could send you the link of the Feeling Good Club. I'll get that for you, and I'll put it in here afterwards. And you just use that link to actually join Clubhouse. Yep, Jenny just joined. Elizabeth just joined recently. Yep, Elizabeth just joined. So there's a couple of things that you'll want to learn before you start participating actively. But I would definitely get on and just go into some rooms and start listening. And then you'll pick up, especially we're all speakers and presenters here, like you're going to pick up how people engage in there. And I think that that's the most important part, because there is an etiquette. And different rooms have different styles. However, there's etiquettes that are to be followed. And also, don't get overwhelmed or think that your room is going to have 1,000 people in it at the very first room that you open and stuff. You got to get followers, and you have to invite people and things like that. But the great thing about like us with the Wellness Universe is we have what we call our core Clubhouse leaders. And we are a bunch of members who have rooms on Clubhouse. So there's Clubhouse, the app, and then you are an individual with your account, and then you can have a room, and you can have a room inside of a club. You can also have a club and then have rooms inside that club. And other people can have rooms inside your club if you'd like. There's different strategies on how to do all this. How do you feel about some of the strategies, Lisa? Or would you say like just start going in? Like, what would you say for a real beginner? How do you start?
Yeah, let me first, Kaylin, you can just download the app, and if anyone has you in their contacts list, they can invite you, or you can get an invite for someone. So Android works the same as iPhone, except you're missing some of the bells and whistles of it. So in terms of getting started, you know, I would say go in, and the rooms that you see are made up of who you follow. So definitely start looking around. You can actually search terms. So let's say I might search social media and find social media rooms, and then start following people. And I'll look at the rooms they're in and go into those rooms. And then if they have other people either on stage or in the audience, you can click on their bios. If it's someone who's interesting, I'll follow that person, and then I'll get more rooms. So your hallway where you see all of the rooms that people are holding is made up of who you follow. So, you know, oh, it's a little bright, but
there
yeah, we got it. Okay. Yep. There you go.
So
Yeah.
that's the hallway.
That's made up of who you follow. So my strategy has always been follow people that I think are going to bring me in good rooms. If I enjoy the rooms, I follow them. I've even done some searching and done rooms for fun. And then the friends I make on Clubhouse have other rooms, so I've gone in. So it kind of builds, but be cautious of who you follow, because that makes up your hallway, and you might get into some that you don't like. Like there's some that don't apply to me, so I figured out who I was following and unfollowed them. My strategy was to go in and listen at first and figure out what was happening, because you can, like Anna said, you know, there's definitely a protocol for it, and you don't want to be up there just shouting, you know, not shouting, but you know, you want to be mindful of what's going on. You actually have a party hat your first 7 days that you're on there, so people know you're new, so they make allowances. But still you want to be careful. But I always, because I was using it for business, my strategy going in was that if I was going to be in a room, I needed to either be on stage and introducing myself at least once a day before I really started moderating, because modding took a little bit for me. So I said that I was going to go in the intro rooms and I was going to introduce myself and then start looking around for people to follow from there. And that really helped me, because at least once a day, even now, I'm in Clubhouse, I'm on a stage so that people are seeing me and I'm getting more visible, because my strategy was definitely to get more visible. So that was how I did it. Some people might jump into holding a room right away. Know that, like Anna said, your room may not be filled a lot at first because it's based on who follows you. So sometimes having it under a bigger club is helpful. Sometimes finding other people to moderate a room with you is helpful. But you have to decide, do you want to be visible? Do you want to add value? Are you going to hold your own rooms? Do you want to hold, be a guest in other rooms? And then be careful who you moderate with, because they can actually kind of take over your room. So you want to do it with people you trust. And just find value in whatever you do. Like, we've held some small rooms, but we found value in our small rooms. And Anna and I even co-mod a room that's happening today soon.
2 o'clock.
About 2 o'clock, about how to have a great small room. So, there's value in what you do. It's just be real, be genuine, be respectful of people, and then have a plan going into it. And definitely, if you're in it for business, set up your funnel so that you have a downloadable freebie that people can access, and that where you're going to move them into to build that relationship. So have an idea in mind of how you're going to move people along that relationship cycle once you meet them in Clubhouse, and don't overtly sell. Take it easy on the selling. I think that was a lot all at once for strategy.
No,
I don't know if
that is
any of
great.
those are real strategies, but
they are strategies, believe it or not, because I think that we've gotten so caught up in the promotion and selling through not being heard on other platforms that we are kind of in that hamster wheel. So here's a chance for you to get real, get courageous, get confident, be vulnerable, be open-hearted, and be valuable. Those are my tips and strategies for a Clubhouse. Hands down, this is the space for you to be all that you are, be heard for all of your value, and connect to the people that matter. I literally was in a room with 3 people, and each one of those other people became something really significant to me. I don't want to reveal what has happened, but I'm telling you, it doesn't matter, because every person is a human, just as you are, and you want to be heard, you will connect with the same people. You're going to connect with individuals who want to be heard, who are valuable. It's not about the numbers in Clubhouse. It's about the relationships. It's about who you're communicating with. Just like Lisa said, watch who you follow. Watch who you connect with, because all you need is 1 or 2 or 3 really great connections that will just spiral into a bunch of other new, wonderful, great connections. Just as likely, you can go into a room that's like totally not your conversation, end up following somebody that you don't want to really have much more conversation with. So be mindful, be open, present